Hi, I'm William Pace. Thanks so much for tuning us in tonight. We're on location here at the Holy Ground Coffee House on Wayne Avenue, and you just never know who you're going to meet in a coffee house. Some of the most fascinating people can come into a coffee house for a cup of coffee. And one of my guests this evening is Janine Phibbs, and she's an author of several local books here, and we will be talking with her tonight to find out how she started writing, what motivated her to write, and what path did she take to get her books published. Thanks so much for being on the show tonight.
Thank you very much.
You're the author of 3 books. The first one here is at Wits End. Mm-hmm. I love that. So Wits End means like you've just lost it, huh?
It's a play on words, because with wit is actually a spelling of a woman's name. So it's apostrophe S. So W-H-I-T-T apostrophe S.
And what I understand is that you have like a little empire of people working on your books. You have a designer of your cover and all of that.
Right, my son Craig Thomas. He does all of the illustrations of the books, and we also have David Brawler, who is from brawlerbooks.com, mm-hmm. and he's the publisher. I actually do my own editing. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to fix all the typos and stuff mm-hmm. like that as well.
So where did this need to write come from? Was this sort of like a hidden?
Well, I've written everything I could think of since I was a child, and I kept everything since grade school. Mm-hmm. And then this desire to be published with a novel started. Mm-hmm. I wanted to be published at 50, and on my 51st birthday, I was trying to figure out why I was angry, and then I realized I was angry because I wanted to be published at 50. And then when I realized that what was causing that anger, I got this divine message that said, look for a local bookbinding company. And that's led me to find David Brawler, who's local. He's in Springboro. And he helped me with that path of going into finishing the writing. So I was able to get this at Wits End finished between September and October, finished early November. He published it, and then I had my first book signing in December of 2014, all in that same 4 months.
Now, how is this being received by the readers?
Everybody talks about the same thing they can identify with, especially with the women that are my age. So they can identify with a lot of the heartbreak that's in it, and breakups, getting married and divorced, or some of the short stories and the narratives. Being a mom, being a grandparent, and the death of my mom, I just put that all in there. So a lot of people identify with those.
So this has been sort of like telling your story and telling it in a way that it could be maybe a healing to other people.
Very much so, very much, and to myself. Very cathartic.
Did you find that it helped you to get this from inside of you into print?
Yes.
That process of telling the story and putting it onto paper was a healing process for you?
Very much so, yes, and it comes in the form of either short stories, poems, narratives. Some of it comes from dreams, and just being able to get all of that on paper. And it has helped quite a bit with healing from different things, including divorce and breakup. And plus there's hilarious blind date stories in there too.
Oh, so you find, well, I think life is comical.
Very much so.
If we, look at the moments that we find ourselves in, we can find humor in those moments.
Very much so.
We have so much ground here to cover tonight, and I want to get the main elements here. I understand that from one of the, chapters here in the first novel here, is you're working on a film project. Right,
that would be a short story toward the end of the book called Compound Fractures. That's going to be I'm putting it into a screenplay, and then I'm working with some local filmmakers that are going to make it into a local film. So through that process of that book, I was able to meet local filmmakers 2015 and to current times, and with Tom Dallas and Eric Anderson, and that has led me to work on several films. So I'm working on my 8th film project via just that introduction into that from that book.
It seems like, you know, what I'm hearing from you here is that things can happen late in life. Is that true?
That is true.
You know, it seems like you know,
True.
like your life is sort of at the age of
I
years.
can say 56. I'm 56.
That you have a new life, you know,
Yes.
and it'll be interesting to follow you and to see where your career takes you in terms
I appreciate that. Thank
of
you.
writing and in terms of filmmaking as well.
Right.
And I want to, you know, plug the other three. There are 3 books here that we would love for you to take a look at and read. And tell us about the first one. Give us a little short.
Okay, with At Wit's End, and also At Wit's End 2, which you have, is poetry, narratives, and short stories. So it's a combination of stories from friends, stories from dreams, poems from just life, again, being married and divorced, having kids and grandkids. I talk about some military gentlemen that are in there, and then with this particular book, Jane's Suitcase, that's my novel. It's semi-autobiographical, where I went to Europe, and Jane, the character, goes to Europe with baggage, and she returns without her baggage.
Wow, that in itself is a worth a read, I would think. Yeah, that in itself. Tell us, for the viewers, you know, listening, where can they purchase your books?
They can purchase through brawlerbooks.com and Barnes & Noble and Amazon.
Okay, so there are 3 locations. Give them once
That's
again.
okay. Brawlerbooks.com. So Brawler is BRAUGHLER books.com, and then Amazon, and then also Barnes & Noble.
That is great. And is there a phone number that if they want a direct or a website?
Well, it would just be brawlerbooks.com would be the best. I do not have his phone number memorized.
Okay. So also, in the coming new year, do you have any new projects on the front burner or the back burner?
Yes, it would be coming up. I would finish hopefully within the next month or 2, would be At Wit's End 3. Again, a combination of poetry, narratives, and short stories. And then also another book that with a collaboration with 2 other ladies my age, talking about things that we're experiencing at our age. And then also, again, additional films, the films that are coming up.
Wonderful. Well, you know, they say 50 is the new 30 is what they say. So I always automatically take off 20 years off of someone's age anyway.
Right.
So, but there's, you know, so much to come, it sounds like, for you in the year of 2020. Coming up next, we're going to be talking to another local author, as well as the owner of the Holy Grounds Coffee House. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
Thank you very much.
You'll have the time of your life. I saw a man, he danced with his wife.
Hi, I'm William Pace. Thanks so much for tuning us in tonight. We're at the Holy Grounds Coffee House on Wayne Avenue. We're on location, and you meet some of the most fascinating people in a coffee house. And one of my guests this evening is Sherry Insko, and she's an author of the book called This Is Gabby, A Person Like You. Thank you so much for being on the program tonight.
Thank you.
And what made you decide to write this book? Tell us a little bit about that.
So my daughter passed away 2 years ago, and as a way of remembering her and getting through working through my grief, I wrote this book about her and all that she accomplished in the short 10 years of her life as a quadriplegic. And nothing stopped her. So I want everybody to know that it's okay to do things differently, to do things your way.
So this has been sort of like a healing process for you, but not only a healing process, it is a way, like a legacy to keep your daughter's memory alive, and so that is sort of like a twofold project.
Absolutely.
And I hear that a portion of the proceeds are going to benefit other people who have suffered from the same kind of illness.
Yes, she had what's called transverse myelitis. So the Transverse Myelitis Association we hooked up with when she became when we found out what her diagnosis was. They have since changed their name. They are the SRNA, or the Siegel Rare Neuroimmune Association. So you can look them up. You can even go to the TMA, and it will direct you to the new website.
Now I hear that you're planning to
Yes.
continue writing.
Correct.
And can you give us like a little snippet of what might be forthcoming?
Sure.
Okay.
So in addition to writing her book, I also started writing my own grief journal. So eventually I will publish that. I'm working on that to share with others who have had to go through the loss of a child or loss general. And then I've started working on another children's book about Gabby and her brother, as another way of siblings with special needs children, with special needs siblings, and how they work together.
Wonderful. For other writers who have a story to tell, but they're sort of lost for how to get their story before the public, do you have any advice for them?
Have a friend who's an author is always helpful. That's how I got started.
Okay.
Because I have a friend who is an author, I was able to get hooked up with her publisher, Brawler Books. He actually helped me to just launch it on Amazon myself. So he was more of a consultant for me.
Is that a way that more and more people are trying to get their books published through that means?
Yes.
So forth.
Yes. Yeah, Amazon has a way now of doing self-publishing.
So this might be a perfect Christmas present.
Absolutely.
For someone, and they could also help a cause too. And so for people who are listening, the viewers, is there a phone number that we can get so that they can call, or can they just go to Amazon?
They can go to Amazon, or they can also reach out to me via my email address, which is sherrlynne@yahoo.com, or SHERRLYNNE@yahoo.com.
And will there be any upcoming book signings that they might come to and see either in this year or in the next year coming?
We're working towards that. We know we have some signed up already in March. We'll be going to a small bookstore in Chillicothe. We also have Facebook. You can reach me at Sherry Insco Author on Facebook and learn updated events.
That's wonderful. And lastly, in remembering your daughter, what would you want other people who have lost a daughter or son, what could you say that would, and we never know, people could be listening tonight and grieving the loss of a child, and what could you speak to them to give them, as a person who has lost a daughter? What could you say?
It's okay to cry as often as you need, and never stop talking. Always, if there's a situation that's something that your child did, talk about it. Share that story. It just keeps them alive, and it keeps them there.
Thank you so much. And this picture on the back, I love this picture on the back. Let's see if we can get a shot of,
Thank you.
Of the picture on the back. It sounds like, and she was just a charming person.
Yes.
It seems like, from the front and, the front here, this front picture and the back picture, she must have been a very, very special person.
Yes, she was.
And we thank you so much for being on the show tonight.
Thank you.
And if you're looking for the perfect Christmas present and a way to support a cause, please buy This Is Gabby, A Person Like You. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
There's more to come on the William Pace Show. Stay with
They
us.
do things that they don't do on Broadway.
Hi, I'm William Pace. Thanks so much for tuning us in tonight. We're on location at the Holy Grounds Coffee House on Wayne Avenue. and it is truly a hidden treasure. And my guest this evening is Amy Williams. And thanks so much for being on the program tonight. You know, I stumbled in here several months ago because I kept saying, this is such a beautiful place. And it's all, particularly at nighttime, it's lit up.
Yeah.
And you can see the chandeliers in the window. And it's just, you know, very historic, nostalgic.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, everybody likes the lighting, yeah.
yeah, it's just beautiful, the
Yeah.
chandeliers. And I wanted to ask you, you know, for women going into business, it's quite difficult, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It
And
is.
so what gave you the fortitude to just keep on trying to make it happen?
Well, I knew I didn't like where I was. So, so that actually gave me the impetus to keep going.
You don't like where you are, then you come up with your own way
Yeah.
of doing things.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
from out of that, it came this.
Yeah, yeah.
Was it an easy process? How long did it take you from the decision to open up a coffee house to it being opened?
I'm going to say probably about two years.
2 years in
Yeah.
the making.
Yeah, this actually wasn't our original location. It was just by luck that this location came open. And so we just decided, and actually we just decided to go for it. And so, and that really changed our plans a lot in regards to, what we wanted to do. The other place that we had, it was smaller. It was a historic place, and we knew, or at least rather I did, I knew that I wanted to, since it's an old building, and I actually wanted the inside to reflect the outside of the building. So, I know the trend is more towards like a minimalistic style, and that's really not what I was going
Looking
for.
for.
No, that's not what I wanted. I wanted something, like I said, that was kind of old style. I felt was real.
Well, this is
Real homey.
very,
Yeah.
very old style.
Yeah.
Tall ceilings, tall chandeliers hanging from the ceiling,
Yeah.
big picture windows. It's very old style. Not only the building itself, but the furnishings that you have here.
Yeah.
The whole layout is, very old style, sort of like in the 30s, 40s,
Yeah.
So it's and I'm sort of drawn to that. I think that's what drew me to it, because, from the outside, seeing the big picture windows and the chandeliers hanging down, I said, let me go in here. And then, I discovered that it was a coffee house. But what made you decide to open up a coffee house? Why not a restaurant? Was it just a particular reason?
I didn't really want to go into the food side. Although, maybe I'm sure there's probably more money, in that, but that was not something that I really wanted to get into, because, as much as I eat, making food is really not my passion. So I'd rather be eating it rather than preparing it.
I know. Yes, but we have to watch our weight and all of that.
Yeah.
But
I liked coffee, really like tea a lot. I like tea a lot, so I just thought, let's combine the two together.
and it's a great social outlet, because when I've been in here, I've noticed people on their laptops.
Yeah.
I've noticed people, reading books. I've noticed some people actually sleeping a little bit.
Yeah.
I've noticed, people, and it's just, I think there's a need for somewhere in between a dining establishment and some place where you can just, come, have a cup of coffee, take care of, address your Christmas cards.
Yeah. That's what I was, wanted something like that, is, just a place for the community where people can feel comfortable. They can
to have anything like they want to have like a meeting, and I do have a lot of people that come, they have meetings, or just reconnect with friends, or if you just want some downtime, just come and relax and you know, listen to some music, do some reading, or sleep, you know, a little bit if you want. Yeah.
And I guess for the holidays too, because you know we're in the holiday seasons, that you know a lot of people coming in town wanting to have a place to connect, a neutral place to go to, maybe not a restaurant, but a place where they can sort of sit and talk and reminisce about the days gone by. And so what's coming up next in the future for the Holy Grounds Coffee House?
I do plan on having some jazz concerts here.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, I actually have, her name is Kelly Campbell, and she's putting together like a first Thursday like jazz jam. So this is going to be like a monthly
event?
Yeah, it's going to be a monthly event.
Okay.
Yep. And if you guys love jazz, I encourage you to come down.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
Now give us your website, because I want to know about your website, so that people can, if they want to know more about Holy Grounds and the food, you know, do you have catering as well?
No, at this point, no, but that's something we are talking about doing some catering. We had actually this morning, we had like a teacher appreciation.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And so can you, if someone wants to host an event here, could they do that?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay, and give us a phone number.
It is 937-349-5807.
Thank you so much, Amy Williams, for being on the program tonight and for bringing this all about, because it's just wonderful.
Okay.
And it takes, you know, perseverance, but look what you have here. You have quite an establishment, and it's truly, folks, a hidden treasure. So you got to stop in at the Holy Grounds Coffee House. Thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you.